Good morning. Today is Thursday, May 18th. I'm Dustin Czarny, Democratic Elections Commissioner for Onondaga County, and welcome to Czarny Seminar. This month, I'll be doing how to vote by absentee in 2023. We'll be doing a focus on the June primary with this seminar, and I'll plan to do an updated one talking about the general election in September of this year. However, I will talk a little bit about general elections, deadlines, and so forth with this seminar as well. So if you're only interested in how to vote by absentee in the general election in Onondaga County, you'll have some stuff in this to go off as well. But these seminars are done, on a monthly or semi-monthly basis, as I'm trying to get various topics that a lot of people ask about out into the community. And this presentation's slideshows will be the data and the slides. As always, I will share them later on as well. So stay tuned. We'll get right into the presentation. And welcome to the Czarny Seminar on how to vote by absentee in 2023. As I said, this will be done twice this year, as we will focus on the June primary with this portion and then talk about the general election in the one in September. But I will hit on the general election later on in this slideshow. So about absentee voting. If you are unable to go to the polls in person, you can request a ballot to be sent to you via the mail or pick up in person. In New York, this is referred to as an absentee ballot. New York is an excused-based absentee system, meaning you need to apply for an absentee ballot. The no excuse option failed at the ballot box in 2021, so excuses are still required. The pandemic disease or COVID-19 excuse expired at the end of 2022. Valid excuses in New York include absent from county on election day, temporary illness or physical disability, permanent illness or physical disability, duties related to the primary care of one or more individuals who are ill or physically disabled, resident or patient of a Veterans Health Administration hospital, detention in jail, prison, awaiting trial, awaiting action by a grand jury, or in prison for a conviction of a crime or offense which was not a felony. And finally, member of the United States military, that's a military ballot. Big changes in absentee voting happened in 2022. Major changes came to the absentee voting system in New York in 2022 and continue in 2023. These changes affect how you can apply, track, and cast your votes for absentee. The changes that came to New York: voters who are issued absentee ballots will no longer be able to cast a vote at the polls on the machine. Postage paid envelopes will be provided for applications and ballots in the June primary and general election. Absentees will be canvassed. So that means the envelopes will be inspected to make sure that they are valid within 4 days of receipt by the Board of Elections. Onondaga County Board of Elections will canvass on Tuesdays and Fridays. Canvassing is open to the public, but there are no more objections. And this has been heard by the court. We will not hear objections on absentee ballots as we open these envelopes. It's dependent on the bipartisan boards of elections. So the counting and results. We now canvass absentee ballots as they are returned, so results can be delivered on election night with early and election day votes. And this is how it works. Here are new steps for canvassing absentee ballots that were in place last year. First, when a voter is issued an absentee by the Board of Elections, their vote file is marked, and they will not be issued a machine ballot on early voting or election day. Absentee ballot envelopes are canvassed within 4 days of return by the Board of Elections by a bipartisan team of workers. They check for curable defects. Ballots are removed from the envelopes and secured without being tabulated. Ballots will start to be scanned the day before the first day of early voting for all ballots received and canvassed at that time. Second round of scanning will begin after the close of polls on the last day of early voting for all ballots received and canvassed at that time. Ballots will be double checked to make sure no voter cast a vote during the early voting period. At 8 p.m. of election night, boards of elections will start to tabulate the scans and prepare to release the results along with early and election day results at 9 p.m. That's after the polls are closed. A third round and final round of scanning will be done 7 days after election day for all affidavit, manual ballots, and absentees received after close of early voting. Ballots will be double checked to make sure that no voter cast a vote during early voting or election day. Final results released with the certification of election though unofficial results may be available earlier. Who is eligible to vote in the primary? Well, we have 4 established parties in New York: the Democrats, the Republicans, the Conservatives, and Working Families. In New York, primary elections are closed elections, meaning that only those enrolled in the party can vote in that primary. So, we have only one primary in 2023, set in the month of June. The ballot in Onondaga County for June 27, 2023 will contain Democratic choices in the city of Syracuse, GOP choices in the towns of Salina and Pompey, and a countywide choices for conservatives. Here are all the offices up. Democratic races, we have Onondaga County Legislature 15, Syracuse City Auditor, Syracuse Counselor at Large, Syracuse Commissioner of Education, Syracuse Common Council District 1, Syracuse Common Council District 4. And then for the GOP races, we have the Town of Pompey Supervisor, the Town of Pompey Town Councilor, the Town of Salina Supervisor. And then for the conservative races, we have the Onondaga County District Attorney. These are the races that will be determined by the June 27th primary, and winners will go on to the general election. So how do you apply for an absentee ballot? Here we have our standard New York State issued absentee ballot form. You can apply for an absentee ballot in a variety of ways in Onondaga County and New York. You can use the electronic absentee portal at onvote.net. That is the best way to apply and how most people apply. It's one-stop shopping. You can click on there and an absentee ballot, if you fill out the form correctly, will be mailed to you. You can fax your application if you're still faxing to us at 315-435-8451. By the way, by law, we have to provide this fax option, even though very few people fax now. But this is the fax that we have seen. But you can go in person to Onondaga County Board of Elections at 1000 Erie Boulevard West. This is what we know as one-stop shopping. You can come in, get your application, get your ballot, and vote that day and turn it in. Or you can mail a paper application to Onondaga County Board of Elections, 1000 Erie Boulevard West, Syracuse, New York, 13204. If you need a paper application mailed to you, you can call us and we will mail one out to you free of charge. And it will also have a postage return envelope where you can mail that application back free of charge. You can also send us a letter to 1000 Erie Boulevard West, Syracuse, New York, 13204, or email absentee@ongov.net. The letter must contain the following information: name and date of birth of the voter, the address where you're registered, an address where the ballot is to be sent, election deadlines. It is important to remember these deadlines in New York now more than ever. We are seeing an increased use of absentee ballots, and adherence to deadlines would help you get your ballot counted. So the deadlines for the June primary: June 12, 2023 is the last day for an application to be received via mail or via portal. Applications are already ongoing right now. June 26, 2023 is the last day to apply for an absentee ballot in person or at the Board of Elections. June 27th, 2023 is the last day to postmark an absentee ballot to be delivered by mail. That is on primary day. And June 27th, 2023 at 9 p.m. is the last day to deliver an in-person and absentee ballot to any polling place or the Board of Elections, and it must be in your county. You can't drop it off if you're visiting another county. It will not count. And July 5th, 2023 is the last day for a Board of Elections to receive an absentee ballot if properly postmarked. And here are the deadlines for the November deadlines. Now, you can apply for an absentee ballot now if you know that you're going to be out of town or have other excuses that are valid for the November deadline. And you can do those right online, even though the primary election is going on. But you have until October 23rd, 2023, last day for an application to be received via mail or via portal. On November 6th, 2023 is the last day to apply for an absentee ballot in person at the Board of Elections. That's the day before Election Day. November 7th, 2023 is the last day to postmark an absentee ballot to be delivered by mail. And November 7th, 2023 at 9 p.m. is the last day to deliver an in-person or an absentee ballot to any polling place or the Board of Elections, again, in your county. And November 14th, 2023 is the last day for a Board of Election to receive an absentee ballot if properly postmarked. So how do you return an absentee ballot? There are several ways you can return an absentee ballot once it is ready to be voted. The best ways to return are: put it in the mail, ensuring it receives a postmark no later than Election Day. Postage paid for all returns. Bring it to the County Board of Elections office no later than 9 p.m. of Election Day. Bring it to an early voting polling site during their respective open dates and times. Bring it to a poll site in Onondaga County on Election Day by 9 p.m. Or ballot applications and return ballot status will be able to be tracked online shortly. We're still working on this through the New York State Board of Elections, but we're very hopeful that it'll be working this primary election. The cure process. The Board of Elections has a bipartisan review of every ballot received, matching the signature and checking for deficiencies. If a ballot is deficient in many cases, we will notify a voter to cure their ballot. This decision will be made during the canvassing process. Examples for reasons of a ballot needed to be cured: forgot to sign an oath envelope where the signature doesn't match, did not seal the oath envelope, ballot was not put inside the oath envelope, missing dates or other information. Cure affidavits must be sent back by Election Day or within 7 days of notice by the Board of Elections before Election Day, or 5 days of notice by the Board of Elections after Election Day. So now I'm going to do our absentee ballot demonstration. And so this is my absentee ballot demonstration. Here is an absentee ballot that has been prepared for me by the Board of Elections. It's a sample ballot. Don't worry, it's not my real ballot. I actually try to vote early. That's my preferred method of voting for the June primary. And yes, I do vote in primaries, even if I'm in them, because I feel like everybody should vote. But I'll never tell you who I vote for. And I will not be talking about it today as well. But this is an absentee ballot that will be mailed to you if you properly apply for the absentee ballot. Inside the outer envelope, this is the mailing envelope. This is the envelope that has your address on it to be mailed to you, is 3 items. It is the oath envelope. This is what you sign on the front and back. The business reply mail. This is what you put the oath envelope in. And then, of course, your ballot. See your ballot here? That is what you use this would be your sample ballot. And of course, the most important part of the absentee ballot. So when you get your return envelope, you take all your contents out. The first thing you should do is fill out your sample ballot. I'm going to just fill it out here. This is actually a sample ballot from the town of Manlius, or the village of Manlius ballot earlier this year. But I'm just filling this out, and once it's filled out, I fold the ballot back up and I put it inside the oath envelope. This is the envelope that has a mark for your signature on the back. It has your name on the front along with a barcode. This barcode allows us to not match your ballot to this, but matching your voter file so we can scan it in quickly. Once a ballot is removed from this envelope during the canvassing process, you can no longer pair it with the envelope, and there's no marking devices that will allow us to do that. So it's very important, though, that a oath envelope is returned. By law, you have to put the ballot inside the oath envelope. You put it inside the oath envelope and seal it. Yes, I still seal things by tongue, but you can seal it with a damp cloth as well. You cannot do tape or glue at this point, although there are laws that are hopefully going to be passed that allow that. But right now, that's how you're supposed to seal it. And then see on the back of the envelope, it says to sign and a witness and a date. The signing and the dating is imperative. You must sign your oath envelope. And I'm signing with a marker here because I don't like my real signature to be put on the web. But and I'm dating it. By the way, this would be valid if your signature matches. Today's date is May 18th, 2023. As you can see, I put it. I put my signature and the date on there. Now, this witness portion is if you are not able to sign. Say you have a disability, or you're having a bad day, or broke your hand, or something like that, and you're unable to sign. You can make a mark in the signature envelope and have someone witness that it is you doing that, and put their name and signature and address right down here on here, and that would count as a valid signature. Then, once you have filled out your oath envelope, you will put it in the business reply mail. This is postage paid. This is what you will return to the Board of Elections. Once again, you put it in the business reply mail. Sorry for showing you my tongue here. I sealed it again, and now it is ready to be dropped off in the mail. As you can see, postage paid. And I can just put it in my mail receptacle. It'll be postmarked by the facility and sent to me. If you're doing it the day of election day, you may want to make sure you get down to the post office to turn it in, or make sure it's going to be postmarked on that day. Of course, you could just put it in this and drop it off at the Board of Elections or at a polling place, or if you're just dropping off the oath envelope inside is fine as well, if you're not mailing it in. So that is how you vote by absentee ballot. So just to wrap up, if you want to visit us in person, we are at the Board of Elections. You can apply and cast your ballot in our office. If you wish to vote in person by absentee, visit us during working hours to do so. Onondaga County Board of Elections is located at 1000 Erie Boulevard West, Syracuse, New York, 13204. We are open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We are also open during early voting hours. Anytime the early voting is going on, our office is open as well. You can give us a call at 315-435-VOTE. Find us on Facebook, OCBOFE, or just search Onondaga County Board of Elections. On Twitter at OCBOE, and email elections@ongov.net. So that concludes my Czarny seminar for absentee ballot voting in 2023. Thank you so much for tuning in with me here today. I hope it was informative. I'll be doing this again in September of 2023 to talk about mainly the general election and the races going on there. So enjoy your day. Next week, this weekend, I will be doing another weekly walk. I'll be doing the village of North Syracuse is the plan to get back. I missed that last weekend, but I plan on doing that. I'll be doing a Commissioner Carr on Tuesday. We'll be talking about the status of the elections, and also maybe some election legislation that has been passed. This last time we talked about family court positions opening up. Who knows? Maybe some more things will be opening up. And then, of course, my Zoom with Czarny will resume next week, and that's with the Lysander town Democrats running for town office out in Lysander, New York. Really interesting that how we've been able to win some races out there in a really traditionally red town. So stay tuned for that. Of course, everything you can find at dustinczarny.com. You can subscribe there for free and get notifications for any of my content or election news updates. This is all part of my public relations outreach for my office. I believe it is incumbent upon me to do so. I always do it for free. I never take ad money, nor will I ever, or subscription money to do this. This is part of my outreach to the voters of Onondaga County and New York in general. So thank you very much and enjoy your day. Bye-bye.